श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा श्रीमाताजी निर्मलमा श्रीमाताजी निर्मलमा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परब्रह्मा श्रीमाताजी निर्मलमा श्रीमाताजी निर्मलमा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः।
O Divine Mother, we are so tremendously blessed by you that our Guru is our mother. In your infinite motherly compassion, you have descended on this earth to guide your children on the path to salvation that you have graciously created for all of us. Being our mother and our Guru, with your tremendous patterns, love, care, you have been tenderly guiding us on this path, always protecting us, comforting us, drenching us in the blissful ocean of your divine love. Holy Mother, our gratitude, love, devotion to you have no bounds. It has always been our guiding star in life. Now, on this most auspicious occasion of Guru Puja 2021, we, your grateful children and disciples, desire to worship our Supreme Holy Guru. Celebrate your greatness and take a pledge of introspection, growth, devotion, surrender, and total dedication to you, our Guru Mata. We sincerely pray to be able to express our deepest devotion and gratitude to your holy lotus feet and to please you through our desires, action with a deep oneness with you and with all the Sahaj family. On behalf of all your children around the globe, we, representative from the hosting countries, humbly invite you to grace this artistic program with your divine presence. We thank you, our Divine Mother, again and again. Your children from Bulgaria, United Arab Emirates, Israel, Mother Persia, Italy, Oman, Portugal, Romania, Russia, and Turkey. Jai Shri Mataji.
Jai Shri Mataji, dear Mother, welcome to this offer from all your children. We have our heart full of love that you give us, and we wish tonight to spread and manifest this love to all your contributions and to all our brothers and sisters in the temple and at home, in your countries. And we pray our dear Divine Holy Mother to really make us feel one at her feet, like when we are all in Namaskar, in Kabbalah, in the temple, in her temple. Mother, let us feel this temple in our hearts and fully and deeply feel that we bow down to it inside of our heart. We feel you near, all of you, all of us together, because our only aim is to make our mother happy. So as first thing tonight, what we would like to offer everyone is the first program of the first Guru Puja in the presence of our Holy Mother, to enjoy that moment and to feel that waves of love that started then and they reach us up to now. So enjoy, dear family.
Oh. Poor things. I'm sorry for them. They have to stand so kind. So, will translate me.
Ecco, Sri Mataji si scusa con tutte le persone di Cavella Ligure per il ritardo nel suo arrivo.
Am I to translate you?
Non solo per quello, ma soprattutto perché non c'è posto per poter ospitarvi con noi.
Oh. I must say that it was a miracle that I reached this place.
Devo dire che è stato un miracolo, come in così poco tempo sono riuscito ad arrivare a questo posto.
Just we found out about the other castle that it was not at all good for us because it was not having good vibrations.
E soprattutto l'altro castello che avevamo trovato non aveva soprattutto buone vibrazioni.
And we had to shift from there in one day.
E dovevamo traslocare in un giorno.
I requested the mayor of this place.
Ho richiesto al sindaco di questo paese,
And you'd be amazed that in one day he sold this house to me, arranged it.
e bisogna in un giorno lui lo ha fatto.
And such a miracle it was. The place where you are now is like Kailash,
E che miracolo è, perché il posto dove
like
adesso
Himalaya.
siete è come il Kailasha, cioè
So-
come l'Himalaya.
So pure and so fresh, and the people are so beautiful.
Così puro, così fresco e le persone sono bellissime.
In the whole of Europe, I have not met They are extremely hospitable, very gentle, very kind.
E di tutta Europa sono delle persone così ospitali, così dolci, così care, così gentili.
And the river here is so beautiful, so fresh.
E il fiume qui è così bello, così fresco.
So there is no need for you to go to Himalayas anymore.
Quindi non c'è più bisogno per voi di dover andare agli Himalayas.
We have to know that Sahaja Yoga is something that you start feeling your divinity within yourself.
Quello che dobbiamo sapere è che Sahaja Yoga è quello che ci permette di cominciare a sentire la divinità dentro di noi.
And after your second birth, after your realization, the whole thing starts growing within you,
E,
automatically,
e-
spontaneously.
e dopo la vostra seconda nascita, la vostra realizzazione del sé, la vostra crescita comincia di maniera molto spontanea, naturale, automaticamente.
And this tree of love grows, and the fragrance of this is love.
E questo albero della vita cresce e la sua fragranza è amore,
Pure love.
amore puro.
And that is what is our basis.
E questa è quello che è la base di tutto noi.
We have only used the power of hatred so far. Now you have to use this power of love.
Cioè noi abbiamo fino adesso utilizzato il potere della rabbia, adesso invece dobbiamo utilizzare il potere dell'amore.
I know it was all arranged in such a short time that you might not feel so much comfort of the body.
Capisco che dovendo avere arrangiato il tutto in così poco tempo, probabilmente non avete trovato tutto quel comfort che ve lo aspettavate.
Because you live very comfortably in your own houses.
Perché tanto voi vivete confortevolmente nelle vostre case.
But we have to see to the comfort of our spirit.
Perché quello che a noi ci interessa è il conforto dello spirito,
Which is the joy-giving source.
che è la sorgente della gioia.
That's why I was told that nobody wanted to go back to that castle. They were all enjoying here because you are enjoying your own spirit.
E per questo che ho saputo che nessuno di voi voleva andare a alloggiare all'altro castello, perché significa appunto che voi cominciate a gioire proprio della gioia dello spirito.
This shows that we are realizing the real enjoyment of anything is in this pure joy.
E quindi questo significa che cominciamo praticamente a gioire tutto quello che proviene da questa gioia pura dentro di noi.
I hope you will all enjoy today's music concert and all the entertainment that is being arranged. And tomorrow we'll have our own pujas and meditation. But today let us all enjoy.
E quindi adesso spero che tutti gioirete della musica e dei programmi di intrattenimento e domani appunto avremo invece il nostro puja, la nostra meditazione, quindi adesso comunque dovremo tutti gioire.
Signori e signore, buonasera a tutti. Non è molto facile parlare davanti a una moltitudine di persone così, perché per Cabella non ci siamo abituati.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's very difficult to me to speak so big number of people because here in Cabela we are not accustomed to have so many people.
Quello che voi avete portato a Cabella e che noi assolutamente non pensavamo è una ventata di novità, un qualche cosa che per noi non conoscevamo esistesse.
You all has bring here to Cabela something that we was not expecting, something completely new.
Ciononostante tutta la nostra popolazione è rimasta seriamente entusiasta di tutti voi, del vostro modo di vivere, del vostro modo di pensare, della vostra educazione e del vostro modo di insegnarci come si può vivere in una comunità in tanti, avendo molto rispetto di tutti e del prossimo.
And all the village is very happy with all of you.
कुर्सी रख दीजिए ऊपर में एक.
And mainly how you are showing us how a big community can live being so respectful to each other.
Noi speriamo e confidiamo che la nostra accoglienza, anche se improvvisata, possa essere da voi ben accolta e speriamo e ci auguriamo che voi ritorniate grazie a Shimatai che ha comprato il nostro castello Doria, che lo ristrutturerà, lo vedremo di nuovo fiorire come in passato, e speriamo anche che questo serva a far conoscere Cabella Ligure nel mondo intero.
He just apologized for any inconvenience that we have in their welcome. They have tried to do the best. In any case, they really desire us to come back. Maybe it will be possible because Shirimataji has just bought this castle that for them is the symbol of this village. And they hope to see this castle again with the brilliance that in the ancient time has had. That it will be for sure thanks to Shirimataji. Yes. And thanks to Sajayoga and Shirimataji, Cabella Liguri will be known maybe in the whole world.
Vi auguro buona permanenza e un arrivederci per alcuni, per molti di voi, e spero per altri che rimangano nella nostra comunità insieme a noi. Grazie, buonasera.
He hopes to see all of us again and again, and next time they will try to be able to arrange more things to us, because it was short time to really welcome us. They really said arrivederci, means I hope to see you very soon, but maybe some of you will stay in our community.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you. So the climax, I must say, already is such a great integration of everybody's voices and understanding. It's a difficult raga, extremely difficult. And the way I must thank Shantabai for organizing this such beautiful combination of so many varieties and types of ragas and, what I can say, alapas and the dance and all those with the people who are of different countries is really remarkable. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
In fact, after Jose's performance, there should be no other performance. I am yet going in circles. Initially, when Shri Mataji had declared that the program would begin at 6 o'clock and would end at around 8 o'clock and then possibly a little music from Baba Mama, I thought I will be deprived of my famous phrase of night is young. But now I can definitely say night is young. want it from all around. Little louder.
आवाज उठाएंगे हम साथ बजाएंगे हे माता महान अपनी यह गीत सुनाएंगे आवाज उठाएंगे हम साथ बजाएंगे हे माता महान अपनी यह गीत सुनाएंगे आवाज उठाएंगे
How to forget these beginning times and how much joy we had to start a divine project like that, and how much joy Mother gave us to support this beginning. So we hope from our hearts that we still feel that push, we still feel that passion for the project, because Cabela, this place, our beautiful collective, our expanded family is growing, and it's always a big enthusiasm to see how much love there is in between us and how much we are growing in the grace of Mother. So thank you again and again to our Mother for giving us all the aspects of humanity and also the fun of it, and not to take ourselves too seriously, but to enjoy each other in a company and at her feet. And we remember always that the night before the puja, it's in preparation of the puja. And we should manifest the joy to accomplish the night up to the end. Like Baba Mama was saying, the night is young, and it will be very young tonight as well. So we would like to start again with a prayer to the Guru, and it is an homage prepared by the Russian collective, the Guru Ashtakam.
Sada
Thank you to our Yuva Shati from Russia to start with this beautiful prayer to our mother. And we'll continue the evening with homage to all the Adiguru from all the hosting countries. And we will start with Sri Raja Janaka from the Emirates is the contribution. And we would like to offer a flower from all the brothers and sisters from Emirates to our mother's lotus feet. Shri Raja Janaka.
Keshi Mataji, we, the Yuva Shakti and Bal Shakti of UAE collectives, are honored to offer this presentation about Sri Raja Janaka at the lotus feet, our Divine Mother and Guru Sri Mataji Nirmala Devi. Sri Raja Janaka was the incarnation of the primordial master Sri Adi Guru Dattatreya. He was one of the 10 primordial masters. He manifested as the ancient Indian king of Mathila. Sri Raja Janaka was the great scholar and was also the father of goddess Sri Sita. He incarnated to bless us with the qualities of detachment and pure attention to cross the sea of illusion, the Bhusagar.
Raja Janaka was from the era of Sri Rama, which was around 4000 BC. He was from the Videha dynasty or kingdom. Raja Janaka ruled over the kingdom of Mithila, which at the present day falls on the border of India and Nepal. Raja Janaka's wife's name was Rani Sunen.
While plowing the field of Mithila for Yajna, Sri Raja Janaka found Sri Sita under the Mother Earth and adopted her as his daughter. And because of this, Sri Sita is also called as Janaki. Sri Raja Janak is also called Videha, and Sri Sita is called Vaidehi, meaning daughter of Videha. Raja Janaka also had a biological daughter called Urmila.
It was during the Sita Swayamvar organized by Raja Janak that Sri Sita got married to Sri Rama and Urmila to Lakshman. Raja Janak had a younger brother, Khushdwaj, who had a wife Chandrabaka, who had two daughters, Mandavi and Shudkriti, who were married to Bharat and Shatrughan.
Raja Janaka's name has two meanings. The word Janaka comes from a Sanskrit root Janana. Janana means knowledge. He was the knower of the spirit, the Atma, and he was the knower of the absolute being, the Brahma. The word Janaka also has another root, Jana. Jana means subject. He was a very good king who looked after the welfare of the people.
Raja Janaka was a great king. Raja Janaka was also a great saint. Raja Janaka is also called as Raja Rishi, meaning the saint among the king O the king among the 10. Ashtavakra is Raja Janak's guru and was a saint who lived in India. Ashtavakra was handicapped at birth and had 8 bends or deformities in his body. He was a highly evolved spiritual personality.
One day, Astavakra chanced upon Radha Janak's court during a Sahasrara ceremony, where scholars and learned men discussed the Sahasrara or sciences. Upon seeing Astavakra, all the courtiers burst into laughter. Astavakra too started laughing out loud. All present got confused. Astavakra rebuked the so-called scholars and courtiers for their shallow behavior in judging him based on external appearances and compared them to cobblers. Raja Janak recognized the depth of Astavakra at once and had a deep dialogue with him, which has come to be known as the Astavakra Gita. It may also be believed that Raja Janak received his realization during the course of Astavakra Gita.
Raja Janaka showed the importance of the qualities of divine discretion and wisdom, which allowed him to see past Ashtavakra's physical appearance and attributes, and recognized Ashtavakra's true inner depth.
Nachiketa was a seeker who got realization from Sri Raja Janaka. Nachiketa used to live in this Guru ashram. One day, Raja Janaka visited the ashram. The Guru touched Raja Janaka's feet. Nachiketa was surprised to see this. How is he so great?
His Guru asked him to go to Raja Janaka's castle and see for himself. How Raja Janaka was a Videha and the only person who could give Nachiketa self-realization. Nachiketa visited King Janaka's palace. He was surprised to see Raja Janaka being surrounded by family, children, servants, dance programs, tasty food, riches and all the luxuries of life. "I'm here to get my self-realization," Nachiketa said. Raja Janaka replied, "You can take all my kingdom, but it's not easy to give you self-realization." Nachiketa decided to stay with Raja Janaka. Raja Janaka put many tests to check Nachiketa's willingness and also to prepare him for self-realization very slowly. One such incident happened when Raja Janaka took Nachiketa for a bath at a river. Nachiketa was in the river and Sri Raja Janaka was meditating on the bank. Suddenly, a soldier came from nowhere and said that there was a fire in the palace. Sri Raja Janaka was in meditation and did not bother, whereas Nachiketa got into a state of panic. A few minutes later, another soldier came running breathlessly, saying all the villagers had run away. Sri Raja Janaka was still meditating, but Nachiketa took his only pair of clothes and started to run away. Later, he realized that there was no fire and it was only a myth. When he went back to the river, Raja Janaka was still enjoying his meditation without any care for the outer world. That was when Nachiketa truly understood how detached Raja Janaka was from within and how he indeed was a Videha.
Through Nachiketa, Raja Janaka emphasized on developing the quality of detachment in its true sense. And once the detachment develops, then our attention does not get disturbed from the outer world, and one can enjoy being in meditation.
Another incident which highlights Sri Raja Janaka's spiritual attention is shown in an interesting encounter with the divine sage Narad Muni. Narad Muni visited Sri Raja Janaka and asked him about how he rises above all materialistic things in spite of being in the middle of them. Sri Raja Janaka promised Narad Muni to answer if he completes a task. Sri Narada had to carry a milk bowl filled up to the brim without spilling it while moving around Sri Raja Janaka's castle. Sri Narada walked around the castle with utmost care while holding the milk bowl. By evening, he had completed the task and went back to Sri Raja Janaka for the answer. Sri Raja Janaka asked him about his day and if he had enjoyed the beautiful sights in the castle. Sri Narada said that he had not seen anything of such. All of his attention was on the milk bowl. Sri Raja Janaka said that he too does the same thing and does not waste his attention on outward things but keeps it inside always.
Videha king. Raja Janaka was the king of the Videha dynasty. He was also called a Videha. In Sanskrit, Videha means without body. This meant that he was not attached to his body. Even though he was living in the materialistic world, he was ascetic from inside. The ruler of the city of Mithila. Raja Janaka was the ruler of the city of Mithila. Mith means mithya or illusions, and ila means atma or earth. Raja Janaka was the lord or the master of the city of myths. In other words, he was the guru of the land of Maya.
Shri Mataji and Shri Sita. Shri Sita Ji was described as the daughter of Mother Earth, Bhumi Mata. Shri Mataji has also told us that Mother Earth is our grandmother. Shri Mataji and Shri Sita are the same. Shri Mataji in her childhood for her vacations used to go to Gandhiji's ashram. She was very fond of Gandhiji. He used to describe her as Nepali because of her Nepali features. Shri Sita Ji was born in Mithila, which is at the borders of India and Nepal. She is also believed to have features of a Nepali girl.
Thank you to our family from Emirates, and indeed innocence is teaching us the right values. So again, homage to Sri Raja Janaka, and now we pay homage to Sri Ibrahim, and our family from Israel prepared a contribution, and we would like to offer flower from their side to our Mother's Lotus Feet from Israel. Sri Abraham.
Seeking brings us to Sahaja Yoga, but it is the devotion of the heart that sets our place at Shri Mataji's lotus feet forever. Where does the devotion come from?
So the first incarnation, I would say, was that of the goddess. She was the first to lead people towards God. Because if you see in the world, we have this chakra of Swadhisthana. And we have also the great gurus, prophets who came, who tried to save human beings. But this was later. Before came the goddess, who saved people from all these ways of destruction. Somewhere had become very evil people who were called as Rakshasas, devils, and somewhere had become good people. Out of them then the goddess created these great saints. They worshipped the mother and they became great saints. They became incarnations of saintliness. So the first incarnation that ever came was that of the goddess. And this is on the second yuga that we can call Shri. She came before Sri Krishna, she came before Sri Ram, and she saved people from getting drowned into Bhavasagar. This then created great saints and sages and gurus who tried to save people. We have gurus who were very great, I should say saints and very evolved. But also we had some who were right side, who knew all kinds of Vedas, they knew all kinds of sciences, they knew all kinds of, you can call them the divine weapons and things like that. And we also had left-sided gurus who believed in their devotion to God. Like you can say, Moses was there, Abraham, Moses, all these people came who were left-sided. Muhammad was there, one of the last ones you can say, and then Nanak. So came the devotion to God, devotion to the all-pervading power. Started like
Sri Abraham, the second known incarnation of Sri Adi Guru Dattatreya, father to future nations, basis for the main future religions. Among the paganism and idolatry of his time, Abraham was the first one to talk about one God, God Most High. God that has no image, whom he worshipped in the Nirakarm form, as we would say now. In the times of vicious and inhuman rituals, he started to talk about pure inner devotion towards God. By his word and his own example, he tried to convert people to this new, more evolved belief.
By demonstrating complete readiness to follow the God's will, up to being prepared to sacrifice his beloved son, Sri Abraham has also given the true meaning to the word sacrifice. For to sacrifice means to do sacred, to manifest the true devotion and deep understanding of the divine plan.
His life is a remarkable demonstration of not only immeasurable faith and surrender, but also of absolute unconditional trust and not questioning God.
Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you.
No reasons given, no questions asked. He abandoned his native land and marched into the unknown, and led along his extended family on this journey to accomplish the divine task. His journey to the Promised Land covered a great part of the Middle East, the void of the world. Sri Abraham was the first incarnation of Sri Adi Guru to walk through the void of the universe and thus spread the vibrations there. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you, says God to Abraham when commanding him to leave his birthplace and go to the Promised Land. Arabs and Jews both consider Abraham as their forefather, thus admitting that they come from the same origin. When they fight each other, they actually attack their own kindreds, forgetting this divine promise, the promise of one nation, the nation that can only be great, blessed as one.
Sri Abraham's life is one of the founding stories that make the origins of Western and Middle Eastern civilizations. At the dawn of human relationships, he was working to build a new, more evolved society. We in Sahaja Yoga are doing the same. Together, let us pray to our Holy Mother to have the modern world imbibe all the qualities of this great manifestation of the primordial Guru, and may the devotion and willingness to follow the God's will become the foundation for the future society of Nirvanites.
Thank you to all the Israeli collective for this beautiful homage to Sri Abraham. And now we move forward to the next Adi Guru, Sri Moses, and prepared by the family of Bulgaria. And we would like to offer a flower from the Bulgarian collective. Sri Moses.
Moses and Muhammad, Abraham had different problems. Like Abraham had problems of talking to people who were really very, very ignorant. And Moses had problem with people who were very indulgent people. So he had to pass laws of Shariat. Moses passed the law of Shariat. And if you read Bible I think in the first verse only it is written about Shariat. In the Irmaya, third book of Bible, that Moses had to pass these laws, different laws, to make people follow religion precisely. So he did not argue. He did not say why you should do it. Didn't give an answer. You do it like that. Because he thought these people are so ignorant that you cannot leave it to their freedom. That you understand this, or that you see the point. He could not do that way. So he just said, all right, these are the laws, these are the things, and you have to follow. If you don't follow, then you will be killed, your hands will be cut, this will happen, that will. Because the people were of that time. So the people who were at the time of Moses, when he had gone to get the 10 Commandments, started indulging into very, very immoral character, extremely immoral character. They were very immoral and were doing such horrible things that nobody can believe that anybody who tried to escape from the Egyptians were worse than the Egyptians themselves. So he gave this Shariat to them to change.
At Mount Sinai, on the first day of the 3rd month after the Israelites left Egypt, on that very day they came to the desert of Sinai. After they set out from Rephidim, they entered the desert of Sinai, and Israel camped there in the desert in front of the mountain. Then Moses went up to God, and the Lord called to him from the mountain and said,
"This is what you are to say to the descendants of Jacob, and what you are to tell the people of Israel. You yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings, and brought you to myself. Now if you obey me fully, and keep my covenant, then out of all the nations you will be my treasured possession. Although the whole earth is mine, you will be for me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. These are the words you are to speak to the Israelites."
So Moses went back and summoned the elders of the people and set before them all the words the Lord had commanded him to speak. The people all responded together, "We will do everything the Lord has said." So Moses brought their answer back to the Lord. The Lord said to Moses,
"I am going to come to you in a dense cloud, so that the people will hear me speaking with you, and will always put their trust in you."
On the morning of the 3rd day, there was thunder and lightning, with a thick cloud over the mountain, and a very loud trumpet blast. Everyone in the camp trembled. Then Moses led the people out of the camp to meet with God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain trembled violently. As the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God spoke all these words.
"I am the Lord, your God, who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or the earth beneath, or the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sins of the parents to the 3rd and 4th generations of those who hate me, but showing love to 1,000 generations of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not misuse the name of the Lord your God, for the Lord will not hold any guiltless who misuses his name. Remember the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, neither you nor your son or daughter. Honor your father and your mother, so that you may live long in the land of the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male or female servant, his ox or his donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor.
Moses said to the people,
Do not be afraid. God has come to test you, so that the fear of God will be with you to keep you from sinning.
The people remained at a distance, while Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. Then the Lord said to Moses,
Tell the Israelites this. You have seen for yourselves that I have spoken to you from heaven. Do not make any gods to be alongside me. Do not make for yourselves gods of silver or gods of gold. Make an altar of earth for me and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, your sheep and goats and your cattle. Wherever I cause my name to be honored, I will come to you and bless you.
Brahma Gururvishnu Gururdevo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Shri Mataji Nirmalama Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devyai Namo Namaha.
Thank you to all the yogis from Bulgaria. And now we move to Sri Zarathustra, where our family from Mother Persia made this contribution to honor Sri Zarathustra, and we will offer a flower from all of them to Mother's feet. Sri Zarathustra.
مزدا کی مردم به هوش خواهند آمد کی بد مستی این زهرا بر خواهد افتاد.
O Mazda, when are these people going to wake up? When are they going to get sober from the drunkenness of this poison? This is why the false religious leaders and unfit country rulers get to hurt people with their wrongfulness. O God Almighty, who will bring the peace that is accompanied with righteousness to this land of peace and prosperity? They are those who are benevolent to the countries, who seek the satisfaction of the good thought, and they build their acts upon the righteousness and based on your religion. No doubt they are created to fight hatred and anger. I read and practice the religion of truth that is divine guidance on earth and embraces us like a mother.
مادر در بر دارد میخوانم و یاد میکنم.
The word asha or artha has a wide meaning in the Dharma which Sri Zarathustra proclaimed. It means truth, and in a deeper meaning, the eternal law of the universe which God Almighty have enacted. Sri Mataji has mentioned that there were 5 different incarnations of Sri Zarathustra, and one of the main messages seems to be the symbol of the eternal fire, representing a spiritual reality within, which purifies and redeems us. The fire also moves against the gravity, upwards, burning away all negativities and gives warmth and light. It is an element which do not absorb pollution. Pure fire and light are the religious symbol of Zoroastrians. During the worship, they stand towards the light and enlightenment and worship through this abstract symbolism the eternal being of Ahura Mazda, the masculine and the feminine aspect of God.
خشنو سر اورای مزدا اتویاترم اهورا او جون که بنتم اشاوس مایی اسیشتم مبنتم استوی رپنتم چیترا ابنکم اتمزدا دای بیشینته زستایش تایش درشتا ایننکم.
Fire is grandly conceived as a force informing all the other Amesha Spentas, giving them warmth and the spark of life. The Amesha Spentas are the 6 attributes of Ahura Mazda, creating a holy 7-fold unity of the eternal qualities of the divine. Just as light rays are emanated from the sun, so the Amesha Spentas are emanated by God. The Saushant is the Avestan language expression that literally means one who brings benefit, and which is used in several different ways in Zoroastrian scriptures and tradition. In particular, the expression is the proper name of the savior figure who brings about Farosho Kreti, the final renovation of the world, in which evil is finally destroyed. Sometimes the Saushant is mentioned as having associates, which help to manifest the truth, and even the word appears at times in plural, as the Saushants. These saviors are those who imbibe the divine manifestation, the Asha, truth, and follow Ahura Mazda's teaching.
Vem skapade jorden och himmelen ovanför? Vem skapade människan som lever en stund och dör? Vem håller oss i handen när vinden ger oss fart? O Ahura, säg mig, och säg det till mig snart. O Ahura, säg mig, och säg det till mig snart.
Again, thank you to all our beautiful family from Mother Persia, which we wish to visit very soon, hopefully. And we continue in this homage, Guru by Guru, starting to establish in our void and completely in this circle. And now is the time of Sri Lao Tse from the Turkish collective. And also here we would like to offer a flower in homage from all the Turkish collective. Sri Lao Tse.
मनसे न लग्नं गुरुरङ्गिपत्ने तथा किं श्रीमाताजी 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 पौरादि सर्वं गृहं बान्धवा सर्वमेकाभिजातम् मनश्चेन लग्नं गुरुरङ्गिपत्ने ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किम् श्रीमाताजी श्रीमाताजी जय माताजी श्रीमाताजी पारिजातं सुभगं करोति मनस्येन लग्नं पुरोरान्विकाग्ने ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं ततः किं श्रीमाताजी
Lao Tzu, 6th century BC, lived in China. Taught inner silence and meditation to empty the mind and discover Tao within, which led to the right action. He subtly suggested innocence, balance, love, compassion, and harmony by being desireless. Tao within us is Kundalini, a motherly energy which guides our left side and right side qualities within us and gives us balance of them. Through Kundalini awakening gradually, inner silence settles and thoughtless awareness establishes, which gives the seeker peace, balance, love, compassion, and closer relationship with the nature, and desire for less material things and action. Action for action's sake. On the other hand, pure action takes place for one's own good and good for others. Lao Tzu, the Master's power is like this. He lets all things come and go effortlessly, without desire. He never expects results. Thus, he is never disappointed. He is never disappointed. Thus, his spirit never grows old.
Then we have also in Japan, Tao. He talked about the all-pervading power which was Tao. And Lao Tzu was the one who did. He has described saints, how the saints are, how they behave, how they talk, what is their mannerism, everything. But how you become a saint, nobody says. I think throughout there has been no description how to make a person into a saintly personality. Then the second type of Buddhism came where this Lao Tzu taught about Tao. But Tao actually he's the only one who started talking about Kundalini. Tao is the Kundalini. But that too was too much for these people. They just couldn't understand what he was talking about. But the way he expressed himself in paintings and other things, just to deviate from that kind of a harsh Buddhism. But somehow, despite that, it never took proper roots. And I have met people who follow Tao, and I absolutely don't understand how these people are following the path of Kundalini. There's a river called Yangtze by which, when you travel, you find variety of things. After every 5 minutes, the scene changes, all the beautiful mountains take another form, and you have lots of waterfalls, and it's very interesting. That is the Kundalini. Tao is that river. But it said that you should not divert your attention to these temptations which are outside. You should see them, but move. And that is what is Tao, which he brought in. But they got lost because they started painting all those things and doing all kinds of more into art. basically Buddha never thought of any art. He never wanted to have any art and he didn't want to do anything with art. He said, but only thing is that you have to introspect and go within and deep down and find out what is the absolute truth. So the whole thing started deviating like that.
Nothing matters. What is important is to know yourself. I'm surprised very little has been written so far, but I find Tao in my house. I don't know if you have read the book of Lao Tse about Tao and meaning that what you are. Tao means what you are, and he describes very nicely that when you are that, what happens. Now the gap was how to achieve that state, how to reach that state was not given. He only described people who were Tao, who were realized souls, who were of what level on earth. And I was surprised that he never said about Kundalini, but he talked about the river Yangtze. That it is Yangtze river, seen as symbolic river, more poetic. But ultimately reaching the ocean, that river becomes the ocean. And then what are the qualities of the ocean? He describes so beautifully.
Thank you to the Turkish collective for this beautiful contribution. And now we move to Russia, to our family from Russia, and the homage to Sri Confucio. Sri Confucio, and we offer a flower from all the Russian collective to Mother's feet. Sri Confucio.
Adiguri Avatar, Sri Confucius. You have to feel the humanism of Confucius within you. Sri Mataji. Confucius was a Chinese philosopher, politician, and teacher whose message of knowledge, benevolence, loyalty, and virtue were the main guiding philosophy of China for thousands of years. He is said to have been born in 551 before Christ in China. He may have been a student of the Taoist master Lao Tzu. He began government service aged 32 and served many roles, including Minister of Crime in the state of Lu. Confucius presented himself as a transmitter who invented nothing, because he believed he was teaching the natural path to good behavior passed down from older divine masters. Around the 2nd century before Christ, Confucius' works were collected into the Analects, a collection of stories and sayings written down by his followers. Confucius didn't like prescribing strict rules. Instead, he believed that if he simply lived virtuously, he would inspire others to do the same. Some of the morals Confucius taught are easily recognizable, most notably his version of the Golden Rule. Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. He spoke about moral character and wisdom as the work of a lifetime. Confucius was adamant about the importance of the universal wisdom that comes from years of hard work and reflection. He listed the aforementioned compassion and ritual property among 3 other virtues: justice, knowledge, and integrity. These were known as the 5 constant virtues. While Confucius believed that people were inherently good, he also saw the virtues like these must be constantly cultivated, just like plants in a garden. He taught his followers, "At 15, I had my mind bent on learning. At 30, I stood firm. At 40, I had no doubts. At 50, I knew the decrees of heaven. At 60, my ear was an obedient organ for the reception of truth. At 70, I could follow what my heart desired, without transgressing what was right." After traveling for many years, Confucius returned to his homeland at the age of 68 and devoted himself to teaching. He is said to have died in 479 before Christ at the age of 72. After his death, his followers created schools and temples in his honor across East Asia, passing his teachings along for over 2,000 years. At first, Confucian scholars were persecuted in some areas, but later Confucianism was made the official philosophy of the Chinese government and remained central to its bureaucracy for nearly 2,000 years. For a time, his teachings were followed in conjunction with those of Lao Tzu and the Buddha, so that Taoism, Confucianism, and Buddhism were held as fully compatible spiritual practices. The worldly concern of Confucianism rests upon the belief that human beings are fundamentally good and teachable, improvable, and perfectible for personal and communal endeavor, especially self-cultivation and self-creation. Confucian thought focuses on the cultivation of virtue in a morally organized world.
Just like Confucius wanted to establish a quality of people, a category of people who would have a feeling for others, as we say in samajikta, or the public-minded people. Mostly human beings are selfish. They live for their families. At the most they may live for some relations of theirs. But some of them are of a category who rise above that limited sphere and become conscious about the needs of the society. Now when we see somebody dying or getting drowned in the sea, we find somebody jumping to save that person. In that case, who saves is not that person, but the collectivity that is within this gentleman. He feels something of his part and parcel is getting drowned, and he must save that part and parcel, so he jumps to save that. In the same way, in the fire, in any catastrophes, when we find people dying to save others, we can explain that innately we are collective beings. Within us, there is a collective feeling. And when this collective feeling is expressed in this manner, you prepare grounds for divine to work through. Because divine is something that is absolutely collective.
Thank you to all the beautiful artists from the Russian family. And now we move forward and we welcome Sri Socrates in our journey and the homage that all the family from Portugal did. And we'll offer a flower to Shrimataji's feet from Portugal. Sri Socrates.
Socrates was born in Athens in 469 before Christ and died 70 years later. He came from a prosperous family which allowed him to study and dedicate almost all his life to philosophy. Furthermore, he was leading a frugal life as he was not attracted by luxury nor comforts. Because he did not feel the need for riches, he gave free lectures to his students. Socrates condemned the growing ambition for power and riches of the Athenians.
The desire of possession. This is the cause of all the wars, the discords, the scuffles. It is the body that gives them birth because of its passions. And if we busy ourselves in getting hold of wealth, it's the body we are slave of. A life without the research of truth and virtue is not worthy to be lived. I go around trying to convince you, young and old, that you should not take care neither of the riches nor anything else, if not your soul, in a way that he becomes as good as possible. Because the virtue does not come from the riches, but from the virtue itself come the riches, and all the goods for the people, both in the private and public life.
Socrates wanted to lead the attention of Athenians to spirituality in order that they may lead a more moral and virtuous life. But not everybody appreciated his teachings, and some of them accused him of corrupting the younglings, not recognizing the deities recognized by the collectivity, believing in demons and practicing an unknown religious cult. He was arrested, put on trial, and found guilty of corrupting the minds of the youth of Athens, and was condemned to death. He refused the help of his friends who wanted him to escape. He always stated that it was important to respect the laws and did not want to be hypocritical. And a few days after his death, the Athenians repented for their impetuous deed, and in sign of grief closed schools and theatres and condemned his accusers.
Meditation is the way to reach wisdom and truth. The soul of every person, when he feels intense pain or pleasure for something, believes that what caused this intense emotion is the only reality, true and evident. Whereas it is not at all, because every pleasure and every pain, almost like nails, nail the soul to the body. They bind the soul to the body in a way that the soul becomes corporeal, till you believe true the things that the body consider true. The soul reasons in the best way when no sense or feelings bother it, neither the sight, nor the hearing, nor the pleasure or the pain, but when it gathers completely in itself, detaching from the body and approaching the complete being. The soul, remaining alone in itself, makes its research and elevates to what is pure, eternal and immutable. And since this is of its same nature, the soul remains always bound to it. The state of the soul is called pure knowledge.
Socrates did not use miracles to induce his students to trust him, but dialectics. He first states that he knows nothing and then starts his investigation by questioning his interlocutor and by extracting out of him all the prejudices, false ideas, and superstitions that dwell in his mind. After delivering his mind from its burden, Socrates can bring to light the truth from inside by raising his interlocutor to a higher state of awareness so that he can witness the absolute truth by himself. He argues that if the soul were not eternal, many things should result inexplicable. For example, he says that knowing is just remembering.
Otherwise, how could many concepts like the beauty, the equal, the righteousness be so easily acquired by us while growing up, if they were not somehow already existing and needed only to be recalled?
So insular. We are all insular, everywhere. Whether it's Indian, whether it's English, whether it's American. We are very insular people, self-opinionated. We are not global. Unless and until we become global, problems of the world cannot be solved. It is happening everywhere. It's not only in one country. It's the same, as I said, in every country. We are very insular people. We have to expand. And how do we expand? How do we expand? Through our spirit. As you can see, the characters of these people, they were global. They never talked about one country, two countries, three countries. They talked for everyone. This is the third big mistake which all the countries are doing, and they are fighting for what? Why are they all fighting? Why are they having wars? God did not create wars, did he? It's not his mistake. This world belongs to him and not to us. All theories, they become self-destructive. How can that be called as a benevolent politics? In Sahaja Yoga, you will have the politics of Socrates. Of giving and of not taking. But we have to have that raised into that personality, that global personality. Can I do it alone? You all have to help me.
Thank you for this beautiful homage to Sri Socrates, to all our brothers and sisters from Portugal. Then we wish from our heart and they can become more and more Enrique Bella very soon. So our void is getting really completed and full. This was the moment to pay homage to Sri Mohammed from Italy, but having changing a little bit of plan according to Mother's, how to say, game, wish, I don't know, we have to be very flexible. So we're trying to be flexible. And Sri Muhammad's homage will come a little later in these days, but it will come. So you will have still a little piece of void to be filled. We'll try to make it filled very soon. And we'll move on. So we pay homage to Sri Muhammad. At least the thing we can do is to offer a flower from the Italian collective. Maybe some, no, from Italy. Thank you. Yes. I know that we offer already many flowers, but we do it to pay homage to Sri Muhammad. Thank you. And now Sri Guru Nanak, and this is the collective from Romania who prepare a contribution, and we would like to offer a flower from Romania to Sri Mataji's feet. Sri Guru Nanak.
In the Kali Yuga, when godness in the world is deteriorating, there will appear a prophet from the Beti clan named Nanak, who from birth will be endowed with extraordinary spiritual power. He will preach on the nobility of life and the eradication of the sinful ways. The Guru of the prophets, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shivaji, is God Almighty Himself. This very Creator will manifest itself as a human in the form of one whose name will be Nanak. It was during the time when the world was plunged into the dark world of ignorance, feudal tyranny and oppression, religious and cultural strife, that Sri Guru Nanak Dev, the founder of Sikhism, took his birth. Celestial music resounded in heaven. Almighty host of gods thus hailed his birth. God has come to save the troubled peace of the people of all communities. He came to preach brotherhood and humanitarianism, irrespective of caste, creed, color, nor economic status. He brought vision of a common humanity to a society which had become a place of violence and strife. Guru Nanak Dev's life was to serve as a beacon light for his age. He was a great seer, saint, and mystic. He was a prolific poet and a unique singer of God's laudation. A prophet of peace, love, truth, and renaissance. Guru Nanak was born on April 15, 1469, in the western Punjab village of Talwandi, to a simple Hindu family. His father Mehta Kalyan Das was an accountant in the employment of the local Muslim authorities. From an early age, Guru Nanak made friends with both Hindu and Muslim children and was very inquisitive about the meaning of life. At the age of 6, he was sent to the village school teacher for schooling in reading and writing in Hindi and in mathematics. He was then schooled in the study of Muslim literature and learned Persian and Arabic. At age 13, it was time for Guru Nanak to be invested with a sacred thread according to the traditional Hindu custom. As a young man herding the family cattle, Guru Nanak would spend long hours absorbed in meditation and in religious discussions with Muslim and Hindu holy men who lived in the forests surrounding the village. Thinking that if bound in marriage, Guru Nanak might start taking interest in the household affairs, a suitable match was found for him. At age 16, he was married to Sulakani, daughter of a pious merchant. Guru Nanak did not object, as he felt that married life did not conflict with spiritual pursuits. Guru Nanak was happily married. He loved his wife and eventually had 2 sons, Sri Chand in 1494 and Lakshmi Chand 3 years later. Guru Nanak was 30 years old in 1499. The next stage of his life began with extensive travels to spread the message of God. Accompanied by his Muslim rubber player Mardana for company, Guru Nanak undertook long journeys to convey his message to the people in the form of musical hymns. Guru Nanak chose this medium to propagate his message because it was easily understood by the population of the time. Wherever he traveled, he used the local language to convey his message to the people. He traveled throughout the Indian subcontinent and further east, west, and north to spread his mission. Wherever he went, he set up local cells called manjis, where his followers could gather to recite hymns and meditate. Then came the day of destiny. The Guru prepared to depart from the world of mortals, and his return to to the eternal home. He asked his disciples to pray and lay down covering himself with a sheet. Thus, on September 22, 1539, in the early hours of the morning, Guru Nanak merged with the eternal light of the Creator. When the followers lifted the sheet, they found nothing except the flowers, which were all fresh. The Hindus took their flowers and cremated them, while the Muslims took theirs and buried them. Thus, having spread the words of reform throughout his lifetime, Guru Nanak successfully challenged and questioned the existing religious tenets and laid the foundation of the Sikhism.
आंखों में बसी हो माँ तू ești în ochii mei मेरे दिल में बसी हो mamă tu ești în inima mea o tu me basi ho mamă tu ești pe buzele mele mere चित में बसी हो și o mamă tu ești în atenția mea acum mi basi ho
When Nanaka came in, he saw that Hindus and Muslims were fighting. So he started his theme with Kabira, saying that Ram and Rahim are both the same. And how can you differentiate between the two? All their theme was like this, of integration of these two main religions which existed in India. That time there was no question of giving realization. People were trying to defend their faiths and fight each other and kill each other. Imagine. Created by the same spirit, fighting among themselves. How silly it must be and absurd. In many places, Nanak Sahib has proved that he was Muhammad. Guru Nanaka prophesied, just like William Blake, that the men of God are going to come during Kali Yuga. And there will be many prophets who will be transforming prophets, who will be transforming people into prophet state. He had prophesied. They have all prophesied about you. Now you have to prophesy about those who are going to be prophets.
Thank you to all the Romanian collective. And now we come to the last of the Adiguru, Sri Shirdi Sainath from Oman. And here we would like to offer the flower from all Oman collective to Shri Mataji's feet. Shri Shirdi Sainath.
Jai Shri Mataji, welcome to this short presentation on Shri Shirdi Sainath. Before we start, we offer our salutations to Shri Mataji for this pure knowledge about the various gurus. Most of this presentation is based on Shri Mataji's speeches and Shri Sai Satcharitra. Shri Sai Satcharitra literally means the true history of Shri Shirdi Sainath. The Satcharitra is the most authoritative book on the life and teachings of Sainath. Shri Shirdi Sainath, in his Sakshat form, gave permission to the author to write Satcharitra. It was originally written in Marathi and translated into various languages, including English. Shri Mataji said in several speeches that Guru Tattva has taken several births on this planet, and lastly Shri Sainath took birth. Shri Mataji declared that Shri Shirdi Sai is an Adi Guru. Shri Dattatreya incarnated as Sai Baba of Shirdi around 50 to 60 years after Shri Guru Nanak. Shri Mataji revealed that Shirdi Sai was a Muslim and he and Shri Adi Sankaracharya were one. Shri Mataji told that Gurus came on this earth to remove fanaticism. Shri Mataji said that Shri Prophet Muhammad came back as Shri Guru Nanak as Hindus and Muslims were fighting amongst themselves. He came for the unity of Hindus and Muslims, and then he came as Shirdi Sainath to teach them. Shri Sai Baba first manifested himself as an young lad of 16 years under a neem tree in Shirdi. Nobody knew the parents' birth or birthplace of Shri Sainath. However, Shri Mataji said that Shri Fatima Bi herself brought him up as a child in her lap and gave him to some lady. The villagers have found a cellar structure under the neem tree, and it was revealed that he practiced penance under the neem tree for 12 years. Shri Sai Baba regarded this neem tree sacred and loved it most. This is now referred to as Gurustan in Shirdi. While leaves of a neem tree are normally very bitter, Shri Mataji reveals that half of the neem tree has got absolutely sweet leaves. Shri Sainath disappeared from Shirdi and returned later on with Chand Patil. After his return to Shirdi, the name of Sai Baba was given to Shri Sainath. We watch an extract from one of the old movies relating to this.
आओ साईं साईं हाँ साईं बाबा महाराज साहब इस नए नाम से क्यों पुकारने लगे संध्या का समय है झूठ नहीं बोलता भगवान साक्षी है ये साईं नाम बिना सोचे समझे मेरी जुबान से निकल गया और जो शब्द जो नाम बिना सोचे समझे निकले वो आत्मा की आवाज होती है.
In his young days, Shri Shirdi Sainath grew hair on his head, never had his head shaved. He dressed like an athlete. However, after a defeat in a fight with wrestler, Shri Shirdi Sainath changed his dress and mode of living. He donned kafni, wore a waistband, and covered his head with a piece of cloth. The piece of white cloth on the head was twisted like matted hair. He took a piece of sackcloth for his bed. Shri Sai Baba was surrounded by his devotees during day and slept at night in an old masjid. Shri Sai Baba's paraphernalia at this time consisted of a chilim, tobacco, and a tin pot. He wore no shoes, no sandals. He sat in front of a duni in the night and always uttered Allah Malik. The masjid was called Dwarka Mai. Shri Mataji stated that Shri Sai Baba has tremendous love for others and he was love personified. Shri Mataji illustrates this quality of Shri Sai Baba through a beautiful story. Once there was a woman who was very poor and she couldn't celebrate her Diwali day and he couldn't bear it, so he gave her some water and the water became like oil and she burned lights in that. Shri Mataji also revealed that Shri Shirdi Sainath used to just cure people by touching. He was not a doctor, he was not a medical scientist, but he could cure people because of his power of giving energy to the root. Sri Sainath would go anywhere. He would be seen in all places helping people in trouble. In the year 1910, Sai Baba was sitting near the Duni on Diwali and warming himself. He was putting firewood into the Duni, which was burning brightly. A little later, instead of pushing logs of wood, Baba pushed his arm into the Duni, and his arm was scorched and burnt. When asked about this, he replied that the wife of a blacksmith at some distant place was working the bellows of a furnace, and when her husband called her, she got up hastily, forgetting that her child was on her lap, and the child slipped into the furnace. I immediately thrust my hand into the furnace and saved the child. I do not mind my arm being burnt, but I am glad that the life of the child is saved.
इसी प्रकार आपने सुना होगा कि साईनाथ जो थे वो बहुत तंबाकू पीते नहीं थे, पर वो चिलम में भर के पीते थे। वजह ये कि महाराष्ट्र में लोग बड़ा ही तंबाकू खाते हैं। हर आदमी, मिनिस्टर भी तंबाकू खाएगा और उसका चपरासी भी खाएगा, और मिनिस्टर चपरासी खाएगा, भाई तेरे पास तंबाकू हो तो दे। इस कदर वहाँ लांछन्स पर बिल्कुल तंबाकू का जोर है। हालांकि ये तंबाकू तो वहाँ होती नहीं है, पर पता नहीं क्यों लोगों को तंबाकू को बीमारी है। इतनी तंबाकू खाते महाराष्ट्र में लोग। उस तंबाकू के लिए ही साईनाथ ने ये सोचा कि मैं ही क्यों नहीं इनकी सारी तंबाकू खा जाऊं। इसलिए वो तंबाकू खींचते थे, तो लोगों ने कहा साईनाथ भी चिलम पीते तो हम भी पिए। जहाँ वहाँ ऐसे लोग हो गए जो तंबाकू इसलिए लेते थे कि इन लोगों की तंबाकू की जो लत है वो खत्म।
Sainath, the first one, the real one, who was on this earth, real Sainath at Shirdi, he was the one who was a real prophet. He was the primordial master who came on this earth. And he was the last of them so far, who's done a lot of work for me. And it's helping me such a lot. In that area only, our work is doing very well, because he's talked all about Sahaj Yoga, about all these things to people. So people are just prepared in the villages and all that, just to get it. It's much easier to do it. When he has already prepared people for that, they are ready, they know what to do, how to discriminate, how to find out who is the right person.
But if you go to a village somewhere, as the Nagar being my Jilla, I have seen in Nagar Jilla, Sainath has done such wonders. Thousands and thousands people come and get their realization. They have given up all these dirty habits, they have given up all drinking. I don't have to tell them overnight.
उसके बाद साईनाथ आए, साईनाथ का जब कोई लोग सब देखा, सब कर दिया। यहाँ पे कुछ चीज शुरू कर दी तो सब लोग खराब हो जाए। तो फिर जागृति नहीं दी। जागृति के बाद बात और सब एक हो जाते हैं, सब समझदार हो जाते। उसके बगैर बहुत मुश्किल था। तो उन्होंने तो किया ही नहीं, उनको उससे नहीं किया, लोगों को जोड़ा ही नहीं, कुछ नहीं, उनके शीशे हो गए बस ऐसे। और हमने भी ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं किया, हमारा कोई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं है कुछ नहीं, और पार होने पे ऑटोमेटिक ऑर्गेनाइज हो जाते हैं। जैसे शरीर है, इसके सारे अंग प्रत्यंग ऑर्गेनाइज थे अपने आप, उसी तरह से।
हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला रसूलिही मुहम्मदिन व अलैहि व अस्हाबिही अजमईन।
तुम आप मुसलमान हो, मैं भी मुसलमान हूँ।
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्।
आप हिंदू हो? माफ करना, मैं खामखा हिंदू मुसलमान के चक्कर में पड़ गया।
Sri Sainath always emphasized on Shraddha and Saburi. Sri Mataji also talked about these two qualities in various speeches. While Shraddha was explained by Sri Mataji as enlightened faith, we listened to the short speech by Sri Mataji on importance of Saburi.
और जब तक सहज में हम इस बात को नहीं समझ पाएंगे कि जो भी होता है उसको सबूरी से देखना चाहिए, उसमें सबूरी होनी चाहिए, कि अगर आप उसी वक्त जल्दबाजी करें या कुछ घबराहट आ जाए तो कार्य नहीं हो सकता। सबूरी करें, और सबूरी करने से बराबर सूझ जाता है कि क्या करना चाहिए, कैसे करना चाहिए। सो जल्दबाजी जो है ये असहज चीज़ है। सहज में आप में सबूरी होनी चाहिए, इसके बारे में साईनाथ ने बहुत कहा है कि सबूरी में रहो। साई मिलत सबूरी में। और सबूरी शब्द जो है कुछ अपभ्रंश है मेरे ख्याल से, लेकिन इसका अर्थ होता है कि कोई भी बात हो रही है तो उसमें तितिक्षा माने ठहर जाना, देखना। और इस तितिक्षा में जब आप आ जाते हैं तो ये परम चैतन्य कार्य कर देता है और आपको बिल्कुल सही बात पता चल जाती है, कैसे चलना चाहिए, क्या करना चाहिए, कौन से रास्ते का अवलंबन करना चाहिए। पर आप अगर जल्दबाजी में आ जाएंगे तो आप विचारों के चक्कर में फंस जाएंगे और इधर से उधर दौड़ते हुए आपको चीज़ नहीं मिलेगी।
Sri Sainath's life is full of stories and experiences. Through these experiences, Sri Sainath made his devotees understand the truth. Sri Sainath attained Mahasamadhi on Dasara Day in 1918. The Murlidhar temple that was being constructed in Shirdi became the place where his body was interred. This is the temple of Shirdi that is visited by his devotees. We conclude this presentation by observing and understanding Sri Mataji's words about Sri Sainath. Jai Sri Mataji.
शिर्डीच्या साईनाथांना सुद्धा फार लोकांनी त्रास दिला, पण ते दिगंबत झाल्यावर खरोखरच ते स्वर्गवासी झाले. म्हणजे असं की त्यांच्याबद्दल जे काही लोक मूर्खासारखे बोलत होते, ज्या ज्या लोकांनी त्यांना त्रास दिला आणि छळलं होतं, ते कुठल्या कुठे विरून गेले आणि ते कीर्तिरूपाने ह्या संसारात आजपर्यंत हजारो वर्षानंतर सुद्धा आजपर्यंत ते सगळ्यांच्या हृदयात आहेत. हे योग्याचं लक्षण आहे.
Thank you to all our brothers and sisters that paid homage to every aspect of the Adi Gurus. And we pray and wish from the bottom of our hearts that all these aspects can be established in our void and that we can progress with all these qualities and become real complete personality, spiritual personality as our mother wants. So thank you to all the brothers and sisters that engage themselves in finding the qualities and the knowledge about all these Adi Gurus. And now, because the night is young, we proceed with the second part of the program. And also, it's not even enough because we had so many contributions and we had just one night that we would like to show everything. So, not all tonight, don't worry, but a good lot. And the second is going to be shown on Monday so that we can enjoy all the work and the bhakti that all our brothers and sisters put into their contribution. And to start the second part, After you maybe had a tea or a breath of air down in the temple, we're going to start with a beautiful participation of the Turkish collective celebrating this Adi Guru.
Guru loves you and you love Guru. That's the only reason. Why should you love your Guru? Now there is no reason for that. Because love is love. Because love is love. Love is love. With the blessings of Sri Mataji, this year I could come to Rome for conducting the music course. And about a month back, she expressed a desire that I teach a Qawwali to my students at Rome. This was my first experience of composing a Qawwali, and I ventured it with her encouragement and blessings. And whatever we have been able to achieve, we are going to present before you.
This was the climax, I must say. Already it's such a great integration of everybody's voices and understanding. It's a difficult raga, extremely difficult. And the way I must thank Shantabai for organizing this such beautiful combination of so many varieties and types of ragas and what I can say, alapas and the dance and all those with the people who are of different countries. It's really remarkable. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you.
मंजिल है यहाँ ऐसे मारा दरबार है यहाँ ऐसे मारा दरबार है यहाँ Samyaka
Thank you to all the Turkish collective, and hope to see you very soon on this stage in Cavella with everyone around. And now we have from Mother Persia some bhajans, and we welcome them heartily to this Adi Guru pre-night.
رب العالمین حق یا امیر المؤمنین ای قبله اهل یقین حق یا امیر المؤمنین راه طلب گویم تو را در هر کجا جویم تو را در هر نفس گویم چنین حق یا امیر المؤمنین خیل ملائک لشکرت تاج ولایت بر سرت ملک هوت زیر نگین حق یا امیر المؤمنین مولا امیر المؤمنین مولا امیر المؤمنین جان پاک مصطفی وصف تو از قول خدا آیات فرقان مبین حق یا امیر المؤمنین آیات فرقان مبین حق یا امیر المؤمنین مولا امیر المؤمنین مولا امیر المؤمنین من تویی آخر تویی یاور تویی ناصر تویی بر اولین و آخرین حق یا امیر المؤمنین اول تویی آخر تویی حق یا امیر المؤمنین مولا امیر المؤمنین مولا امیر المؤمنین سوی محبان کن نظر محفوظشان دار از خطر ای حب تو حسن حسین حق یا امیر المؤمنین حق یا امیر المؤمنین حق یا تلقویم تو را در هر کجا جویم تو را در هر نفس گویم چنین حق یا امیر المؤمنین اول تویی آخر تویی یاور تویی ناصر تویی بر اولین و آخرین حق یا امیر المؤمنین حق یا امیر المؤمنین دارد صغیر مینوا مگذارش از مهنت غمین حق یا امیر المؤمنین مولا 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 امیر المؤمنین مولا
Okay, do we have? Okay, thank you to Mother Persia and all the beautiful children of this land. The music, it just softens the heart so much that we would like to be part of that as well and learn to sing that way. So we wish to do it together, dear brothers and sisters. So now we go to the Emirates, and also their token for this puja to share with all of us. So a little problem of connection, but as I said, all the contribution that everybody sent, if we can manage tonight, having the puja tomorrow, starting early the meditation, on Monday they will be all shown, all the things that you sent, to be able to share it together. And now we're going to move to Bulgaria and a kuchipudi dance from a yogini there. Thank you.
Ta jum rum ta dhalam ko tak de ko da de dang de de ta jum ta ka jum ta takita ta da ta jum de jum ta tanum ta rum ta takita ta de dang de ta 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 dhanatata, drunatata, dim ta ta da jum ta ta nam ta ta rum ta ga dim ta kidatiga da angidatiga tarigidatiga da dim ta tarigidatiga da ta jum dim da ta ta jum nam da ta ta jum tam ta kidda dana ta da tangidatiga tarigidatiga dim ta tarigidatiga da ta jum dim da ta kidda jum jum da kidda da jum da jum jum da kidda da jum kidatiga tarigidatiga da dum ta ni ta ta Tarisata, tadana, tarisata, tarisata, tarigidatiga, tarisata, danatata, jum, tarisatana, tadatangidatiga, tarigidatiga, ta, tarigidatiga, ta, jum, dim, da, ta, ta, jum, nam, da, katagida, jum, ta, dim, tum, nam, tadatangidatiga, tarigidatiga, tadisa, danatata, danatata, tarigidatiga, danatata, danatata, dim, da, tarisata, Danatata, tadita, danata, danata, tangidatiga, tarigidatiga, ta, tadim, tarigidatiga, ta, tadim, tarigidatiga, tadim, tarigidatiga, tadim, tarigidatiga, jum, tarigidatiga, tangidatiga, tarigidatiga, dingidatiga, tarigidatiga, dongidatiga, tarigidatiga.
Thank you to these very powerful yoginis and this beautiful dance. And now we'll move forward and we'll go to Romania. We have Cleopatra there with a beautiful piece from Mahler and a contribution for this Guru Puja. Mahler from Romania with Cleopatra. Romania. Thank you to Romania and Cleopatra. And we really miss having everybody around and having our long nights in the hangar, even a little bit falling asleep, but being together and enjoying this preparation for the puja. We really understand, and seeing this online, it doesn't have exactly the same effect, but deep down in our heart, we know that this is a preparation for the puja. So to always remember that our attention is really precious. So we'll move on with a contribution from Russia with Raga Atzmani. Thank you to this beautiful Yuva Shakti from Russia and the beautiful raga that they performed. And now we are to the last item of the evening. It's a collective dance from Bulgaria.
Ta, hey, hey, ta, 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 ta.
And with this beautiful feeling given by the sister from Bulgaria, we would like to end this night and to thank our mother for giving generously always her blessings, her love, her unconditioned joy always to us, and to all our brothers and sisters that join in this night of homage to the Adigurus and helped us to get ready for tomorrow. So, Mother, thank you for letting us always have the possibility to bow down at your feet in the temple of our hearts. And we can now say all together the three great mantras.
Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Saraswati Trigunaatmika Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha
बोलो श्री आदि शक्ति श्री आदि गुरु निर्मला देवी माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की
जय।
जय श्री माता जी
जय
Jai Shri Mata Ji.
We remind you the meditation tomorrow morning at 7, and we wish you a wonderful Guru Puja and good night to everyone. Jai Shri Mataji.